Friends, today I would like to talk to you about it seems a little war going on between XJWs, and it seems now that the culprit is a fellow named John Cedars. Now, I have read John Cedars, not his book, but I have watched a lot of his videos and have analyzed him. Now, if you're going to judge this fellow by defending the Watchtower now, you have to look up the word reluctant. Reluctant to me now means that you're undecided. You're undecided about leaving the Watchtower. Also, reluctant means you're not sure. You're hesitant. You are holding on, but you're not holding on. You're dragging your feet. You're reluctant to do this because this here affects my life. So I'm reluctant. This was his book name, Reluctant Apostate. Well, it's nothing wrong with being reluctant. You got to make a decision. What side are you going to tilt on? What you have to remember, friends, that in this world that we're living in, the only one I know of where you have human beings is, if you'll take notice, everything, every organization, every business, every cult, every political organization is out to gain your mind or gain your backing or gain your favor. Everything is out to get your mind. I got an old saying: when I pull out of my driveway, I can either go left or right or keep going straight. But it doesn't matter which way I go, because time I leave this driveway, something is waiting for me, waiting to get my money. Whether it be the gas station, whether it be the state cop out there on the highway, or whether it be the auto repairman waiting for me to break down. Everyone is out to get you. Not to harm you, but waiting to gain you. You can spend your money here or believe in this because we have everlasting life in mind. It goes on and on and on. Everything is out to get your mind. See, you take like in this country, the Democrats were out to get your mind. The liberal ideology, out to get your mind. Republicans, same way, out to get your mind. See? And then you have other little splinter groups, but it all boils down to one thing. They're out to get your mind. Come with them. Watchtower, same way. The only difference in the Watchtower is they have a powerful mechanism of doing it with the printed press. They can stand out on the street and hand out pamphlets and little paper thin magazines forever. See, they're eventually going to get somebody who will back them or eventually join them and give them a donations and whatever. But they're out to get your mind. See? Well, are the XJWs out to get your mind? No, I don't think that. I don't think, I think if you take notice now, if you drive down the highway, you'll see someone blink a light coming your way to warn you of trouble up ahead. Now, it could be someone had an accident, or it could be a police trap. But they're warning you. See? There's nothing wrong with warning someone to help them to get through this damn world. But I'm going to bring out more on this here. I have another saying, or it's an old saying, not mine, but it's an old saying that everyone has a price. Everyone. Now, what does that mean? It means that if there's a price, it usually involves money or some kind of favor. If one wants to gain your favor, he might offer you money. He might offer you favors. See? But they say every man has a price. See? And I'm not saying that Cedars has a price. I'm not going to say that, because I don't know that. But let's say, for example, if John Cedars was gaining a lot of people, but he was still reluctant on leaving the Watchtower then saw or see someone that can help them. And you know, the Watchtower will sell their souls out like they did to the United Nations to gain someone to help them accomplish what they're trying to do. Every man has a price. Every man has a price. See? I might have one too. I don't know. But every man has a price. But no matter what Cedars is talking about banning the Watchtower in Russia, how unkind that is, how evil that is, how you're so wrong for doing this. He says you only make them stronger. Well then, if that's the case, then we should all give up. The drug pushers of this country, we should just give up and let them do anything they want to do. Is that what he said? Now, the Watchtower is not pushing drugs, but they're pushing seduction of your mind. And they have did it. Say, no matter what Cedars says about Russia banning Jehovah's Witnesses, keep in mind what they're banning. They're banning an idea that goes against their laws and principles. Russia has a right to enforce a law. If they have a law against extremists and what they consider extremists, they have a right to enforce it. Why have a law if you don't enforce the law? Russia is enforcing the law now. Before, they were letting it go and they were just putting up with it. But, you know, it seemed like to me, sometimes when people are winning, they get bigger heads. They feel they can do anything they want to do. Okay? This is what the Watchtower is doing. How dare you to go in the streets of Russia and go from their door to door and tell the people that they're going to go down at Armageddon. This government is going to go right down with it. They might not say it in that word, but it's the same thing. See? Russia's not going to let you get out there and destroy their country by changing the people's minds. You know, they had Bolsheviks and all this stuff fighting all down through the years, the Russian people did. See? Now, they're not going to let the Watchtower come in with a Bible and a Watchtower Wake magazine and destroy their country. with the brainwashing ideology that comes with it. What you got to remember, friends, what Russia has banned, they have banned a business. They have banned a printing publishing company disguised as a religion. That's what they have banned. They have banned a business. Why can't you serve God without running the government down? Why can't you serve God by obeying the laws of the land? And for the Watchtower to get people to write in letters not to ban them, that means they don't have no confidence in Jehovah then. See? Why are you writing? Why are you pleading to the same people that is going to ban you not to ban you? Please continue to give me the right to brainwash the people of Russia. Please give me that right. Let that right continue. Let that right continue. When I knock on a person's door, I'm telling them that Russia is part of the wild beast and that they're going to go down at Armageddon. And you will too, unless you join us. This is what Russia has banned. And I don't blame them. In fact, they should do it in every country. Who has the right to run around and destroy countries with their philosophy? You know, was there an outcry of Jim Jones? See? He gave the people paradise down there on an island, didn't he? See? And this course, this guy in Waco, Texas. See, he had religious freedom too, but he went too far. There's a limit on how much freedom you can have. See? But Russia has banned child sexual abuse. That's still there. That is still there in that Watchtower family. And it's all over the world that they have this love of pedophiles. Because if they didn't, they would get them out of their congregations all over the world. I don't think there's nothing in the Bible that tells you should tolerate anything like a child abuser. If there's such a thing in the Bible that you should tolerate that, then I don't want nothing to do with the Bible. See? Russia has banned a group that believes in shunning other people that eventually joins it. Shunning, which is an evil thing to do. Breaking up families by shunning them. And then when they're shunned, how many people that has killed themselves because they have lost their family? See? And how many people that are shunned eventually starts taking medication by the tons, trying to get their mind back. Okay? Now they'll spend the rest of their lives trying to get this Watchtower philosophy out of their mind. It's hard to get out. It's hard to get out. And also, they no longer have three men sitting at a judicial committee ruling over somebody. See? They want to take three men and ruin people's lives because they didn't go by the book that they had. They're going to ruin your life. And the date of 1914, which the Watchtower lives and died by, that's still there. That hasn't left. And we all know it's a stone lie. Historical facts prove it. and Ray Franz. His memory is still there. Ray Franz to me was a saint. No one can get on this internet and say anything negative about Ray Franz. And yet, he was in that nonsense too. He was also brainwashed. And he was also in that governing body for 9 years. See? So he was not no dummy. No one can speak anything bad about Ray Franz. But they can the rest of these clowns that are on that governing body. Like Jeffrey Jackson down there in Australia, how he lied. See? Then you have the Australian Commission. That's still there. Why was there a Australian Royal Commission investigating the Watchtower? Why? They weren't investigating the Baptists down the road there. Hey? Embarrassing. How in the world can you be a channel of God and you on the national TV or national internet being charged with abusing your children in the kingdom halls of Jehovah's Witnesses? That is an embarrassment. That's something to be ashamed of. No, they sweep it under the rug. See? And the idea that the Watchtower is not a business, well then how come all these millions and millions of shares of stocks that they have bought and hiding from their flock? See? Russia banned that. Nothing wrong with that. You ain't paying no taxes on that stock because you got that religious dress on. You pay no taxes on that money. No taxes on that money. Well, breaking up of families. It's hard enough to keep families together today in this world without having something like a cult ideology dividing families. See, that philosophy is still there. That hasn't left. Watchtower. This is what Russia has banned. See? You are pleading to the world to back you, to continue this nonsense that you're doing. That's what you're doing. You want all the people in the world to back you up for the things I just mentioned. Child molestation, shunning, stocks being bought with their money. You want Russia to let you continue to do that. And you're crying persecution. Well, if a state cop stops me for speeding at 75 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone, that's persecution. If a cop picks me up for robbing someone, that's persecution. Why can't I rob somebody? I have that right. But there's a law against that. There's a law against that. If I go out here and commit adultery on my wife and I get caught, persecution. She's leaving me. Persecution. In the same way with the, well, we all know it, might as well say the race card, how that's played. See? Persecution. Hey? It's persecution. That is a cop-out. And then also Russia has banned people who will go into a hospital, and a liaison committees coming there from the Watchtower, Kingdom Hall, enforcing the rule that this person must die if he takes blood. If he don't take blood, we're going to kill him. We're going to persecute him and kick him out of our world. So says the Watchtower. And the person do not take it and dies. The Watchtower has won. They have won. That person died for what he believed in. This is the bugle they'll blow. See, that brother died for what he believes in. Hey? If people believed in it so damn much, why do you got to have elders that come to the hospital to make sure that that person don't get blood? Why? Why can't they not take blood out of love of God on their own? Why do you got to be there to enforce it? You're standing right over that bed making sure that person dies or continues to live. One or the other. You're taking the position of God. You're going to decide whether a person dies or lives. Okay? Just thought of that. By you enforcing the blood rule, you're making the decision on whether this person lives or dies. Shame on you. Shame on you. You're making the decision of life and death. Well, you could come back and say, yeah, but if they do take it, they're dead in the eyes of Jehovah. No, they're not. They're dead in the eyes of you. It's you that's saying he's dead in the eyes of Jehovah. Jehovah ain't said nothing. You're saying that. You can take the Bible and make it anything you want to take it. You can do it. It can easily be manipulated, the Bible. It's so easy. See? And I think the Russian government, although it doesn't have too good of a name far as human rights go, as they call it. No. But no country does. No country don't have a 100% clean record on human rights. Human rights is something that a person is guaranteed to have, but then again, it's not guaranteed. There's nothing that can enforce human rights. Nothing. You can demand it, you can talk about it, but you can't make it happen. See? I mean, everyone's human rights is not somebody else's human rights. Is it a human right for me to go knock on another person's door and try to change his mind of what he thinks and lives by? Okay? Is that a human right? If that person is a Methodist or a Catholic, and this is the life he chooses, but you come along trying to change it, see, is that a human right for you to do that? You want that right no matter what, to break families up. And this is what it does. Breaks families up. You know, there's always said freedom of the press is something that the United States of America lives and dies by. Freedom of the press. Okay. The Watchtower, in turn, has taken that same philosophy. See? Freedom of printing their cult magazines, their cult literature. They take it dead serious. Well, friends, I'm going to cut it off now, but I'll be back for more. And as far as being reluctant of leaving the Watchtower, that's up to you to decide. But when I left it, I wasn't reluctant at all. I had seen 32 years of it. There's nothing to be reluctant about. I know what it's all about in here. What am I going to be reluctant about? See? Nothing to be reluctant about. I made my mind up and left. I hadn't even read no Ray Fran's book. I had not even went on the internet. But I did once I read about the Guardian Press exposing the Watchtower committing adultery with the United Nations. See, and everybody don't seem to know why they joined the NGO. It wasn't to use no library. They could use the library without joining an NGO. They joined the NGO so as they would have clout, so as they would have power when they go into other countries and try to convert people to this cult. See, it would give them a head start. We have association with the United Nations. They believe in us because they're letting us do this. This is the only reason. See, they didn't join no NGO to use a library. They can exist without a library. What is in the library? Eh? That's just a lie. That's a cop out. Eh? Every man will tell a lie, and they did just to gain a little edge on the other guy. This is what they do. Yes, they did, friends. But did Russia do the right thing? Sure they did. Sure they did. Because they have a right to enforce the laws of their land, just like we have a right here to enforce the laws of our land. Why should they not have that right? Who are you to say you're supposed to be looked over and violate a country's laws? See? It had to be against the law or they wouldn't have called you an extreme organization. It's something you did, well, we know what it is. But what I'm saying, friends, is everybody's out to gain your mind. Don't let John Cedars gain your mind. Because I still say that he was reluctant for even leaving the Watchtower. That tells you something right there. Why was he reluctant? See? And now he's an atheist. Well, now if you're an atheist, why are you blowing a bugle for the Watchtower? Are you really an atheist? If you were an atheist, you don't want nothing to do with religion. But here you come blowing a bugle about the Watchtower. How Russia should not have did that. Why are you doing that? You're an atheist now. Whereas the atheists don't believe in God. Or they're reluctant to believe in God. But it wouldn't mean you would go out and defend another religion if you are reluctant. Why would you defend them now? Something that you condemned there for a few years, and now you're changing your mind. Or was it all a grand plan? It could have been a grand plan, see? I mean, he was probably the first one to do this, but it don't change my mind what he says. I don't let no man change my mind no more. He can go ahead and talk to me, but he's not changing my mind just because he says he's right and he knows this. That's your philosophy. Eh? There's two sides to every story. Two sides to every story. Well, you could say there's three sides. It's the Watchtower, it's the world of mankind, and then there's the truth. Which one is it? See? That's up for each person to decide. As for me, I have made my decision. As Psalm 146, 3 and 4 says, do not put your trust in men, nobles, kings, queens, the hierarchy, educated men, tricky men. Don't put your trust in them. And there's only one reason why you shouldn't put your trust in them, because in the 4th verse, it says, because they die and go back to the ground just like you do. Which means that they have no power. What power do they have? They die, so they don't have no power. The only power they did have before they die is the power of persuasion. And this is what the Watchtower lives and dies by. The power of persuasion. Persuading you to join them. Because it's only them that has the truth. And if you don't believe me, ask them. Thank you, friends. Night.